Let's do it then, chat.
Snitches don't
Hey,
get.
if y'all ain't noticed, I got this new thing right here for my mic, this boom arm. This shit kind of fire too. It's gonna make the quality 10 times better. Y'all gonna be able to hear me better. Y'all gonna be able to see me better. I don't know about see me better, but y'all can hear me better. So, yeah.
Snitches get killed.
This is ADX Florence. Here, silence isn't a choice. It's a
They
weapon.
call that shit
I think what I'm
ADX
most concerned
Florence.
about just snap.
Yeah, I'm from Florence, Alabama.
Time doesn't just pass, it breaks people. And survival isn't about fending off violent attacks. It's about surviving your own demons. Serial killers, terrorists, drug lords, and spies are all locked away inside this concrete labyrinth. Many of them serving life sentences with no hope of release, no possibility of parole, and no meaningful human contact. Why were group activities banned at ADX?
Oh yeah,
What
if y'all see
terrifying
me,
scene
if
did-
y'all see me messing with my nose, I'm not picking my nose. I'm actually fucking with my nose. I don't know if y'all can. Y'all see that shit? It's right there. Yeah, I'm fucking with that, man. Cause sometimes it tickles my nose a little bit, man. And I don't like my nose just being tickled and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
the guards
yeah, I be
discover
having to
in
fuck with
this
it and get it
inmate's
right.
cell? And why exactly has this place faced so much backlash and protest? Stick around to find out
They
as
probably
we
be
dive
fucking
into
with
the
the
dark
inmates.
secrets behind America's toughest prison. Let's rewind to the early 1990s. The United States federal prison system was under siege. Not from outside threats, but from within. Violent assaults on guards were skyrocketing. Inmates were organizing from behind bars. Gang leaders, terrorists, and mobsters were treating prison as just another headquarters. The Bureau of Prisons needed a solution. Not just better locks or more guards, but a facility that could isolate dangerous individuals entirely. No contact with staff, no influence over other inmates, and no chance to conspire. Its solution was ADX Florence.
Imagine
Damn.
being able to build an app with
So
your
they
name
like
on it. Just by
separated
thinking
them
about
niggas
it.
from basically
Meet Base
humanity.
44.
Like, that's
Florence, an
That's kinda
administrative
crazy.
maximum
I ain't gonna
security
lie.
prison opened in 1995 and built into the harsh Colorado desert. While technically part of a larger correctional complex, ADX stands apart, physically and philosophically. Unlike other federal prisons, ADX wasn't designed to rehabilitate. It was built to neutralize. Some of the most infamous criminals in modern American history are or have been housed at ADX. You've got Ted Kaczynski, better known as the Unabomber, Ramsey
Who's the
Youssef, the
Unabomber?
mastermind behind the
Hey, chat, update me. Who is the Unabomber? Like, I don't know half of these folks that we talking about here. We talking about names I've never even heard of before. You feel me? But I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't imagine being inside the world's toughest prison, let alone being inside prison. You feel me? Every single day, gotta wake up to men, smell men, be around men. This and the third, shower with other men. Like, that's kind of weird, but hey, that's actually some niggas' reality right now. So I'm just thankful that that's not me. You feel me? But I also can imagine being in the world's toughest prison where you don't see nobody. You don't have no social contact. You have nothing up to date. Like, that's terrible. That is mentally fucking like exhausting.
1993 World Trade Center bombing, Richard Reed, the so-called shoe bomber, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the Boston Marathon bomber, and How to Survive Regular, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the Mexican drug kingpin responsible for countless deaths and multiple prison escapes, until he ended up here. No one has ever escaped from ADX Florence, and that's by design. The perimeter is a maze of razor wire and guard towers. Inside, the prison is laced with surveillance cameras, motion detectors, thermal imaging sensors, and pressure-sensitive floors.
Yeah,
The
it better
hallways
be.
are intentionally curved so that no one can see too far ahead or around a corner. Every movement, every word, and every flicker of activity is monitored.
We have hundreds of night vision cameras, hundreds of gates that
I
are
thought that was
electronic.
fucking.
We
What you call
can
it?
live-time monitor over
I thought
50
that was,
languages.
Trump,
The doors open
what he
only
was
from a
talking.
central control room. Out of over 300 guards, none of them carry keys. Inmates are moved one at a time through a strict choreographed system that eliminates any and all interaction. Now, picture this. You've just arrived. You're stripped of your clothes, your belongings, your name. everything but your thoughts. You walk through several layers of security. You pass guards who don't speak,
Hey, y'all
and
know
the
something
weight
crazy?
of the
I bet you
walls
the people that work
close
here
in
still
around you.
make like $20 an hour.
Finally, you're led to your new home. A 7 by 12 foot cell with a concrete bed, a desk, a metal toilet, and sink. Oh, and a tiny vertical slit in the wall that's angled just enough so you can't see the mountains surrounding the prison. Just a sliver of light to let you know another day has passed. There's no clock, no calendar, no way to mark time other than your own internal sense of decay. You eat, sleep, shower, and exercise alone. Meals are passed through a slot in the door. You receive questionable food in plastic containers, usually without utensils. If you follow the rules, you might earn a small TV with limited programming. Mostly religious broadcasts, educational content, or prison-approved news. You might get books, but nothing that shows you the outside world. Nothing that makes you feel connected to anything or anyone. Your 1 hour of outdoor recreation happens in a concrete enclosure with a grate overhead. You breathe air, maybe feel the sun on your face, but you're still alone.
You just have to be alone with your thoughts and toss and turn till the morning. For 2 years, I never got a full night's sleep.
This intense level of isolation wasn't always the case. In the early years of ADX, inmates were sometimes allowed to interact during carefully monitored yard sessions. That all changed in 2005. Before we explain exactly why this happened and reveal more terrifying secrets about America's most secure prison, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a second of How to Survive. One fateful day, Manuel Tati Torres, a known member of the Mexican Mafia, was beaten to death by 2 fellow gang members during a group recreation session. The killing was calculated, sudden, and brutal.
No inmate prior to Tati was murdered at ADX. No inmate since Tati has been murdered at ADX.
After that, ADX permanently banned all group activities. Inmates now exist in complete solitude, physically, mentally, and emotionally.
One murder at ADX spoils it for everybody. And so
that's actually
now there is
crazy.
no human contact.
Every inch.
Imagine having to be alone every single day with no contact with the outside world. You don't know what's going on. You don't know who's where. You don't know what's happening. It's just you and your thoughts every single day. I'm not gonna lie, nigga. I ain't gonna say when I was living by myself, because I still live by myself. But like when I was here every single day before I got my girlfriend, bro, that shit right there was mentally exhausting to the point where I just let one of my homeboys just come stay with me a lot, bro. You feel me? Because I just don't want to be here by myself 24/7 all day, every day. And I didn't really go nowhere but here, the gym. Went out, made me some money, and then after that, I came back to the crib. I was at home all day long, you feel me? And that shit right there was fucking mentally depressing. Niggas don't understand how much being alone can affect you and your mental health when you're alone every single day. It actually takes a toll on you, bro. I promise you. Like, y'all might think that it sound peaceful and it sound good, bro, but after a certain amount of time of being alone every single day, bro, your thoughts start taking over, bro. And after that, it drives you insane.
Of the prison is designed to remove autonomy, eliminate influence, and erase identity. Every design decision, every policy revolves around one goal: total control. That includes the psychological environment. To the outside world, isolation might seem like a peaceful retreat, but extended solitary confinement has proven to have devastating consequences, like severe psychological damage,
insane,
including depression, hallucinations, self-harm, and suicide. Jack Powers is one of the most extreme examples. After being sent to ADX, his mental health deteriorated rapidly. He bit off his own finger. He cut off his earlobes and even removed his testicle. Jack was one of several inmates who have committed self-harm and attempted suicide at ADX. Eventually, he was released in 2022
how do you do that to yourself, though? Like, how do you just cut off your own? Yeah, like, ugh.
Spending over 2 decades in solitary confinement.
I was a criminal. There's no question about it. Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single
kind of
prompt
criminal was
with
he,
Wix
though?
Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or
No doubt about it. Yeah, I stole, I robbed. Did I deserve to be arrested and stopped from criminal activity? Yes. Did I deserve to be kept in a cage for almost 33 years of my life? I would have to say no.
Another inmate, Travis Dusenberry, spent 10 years in nearly total isolation. He said the only thing that kept him going was watching the snowfall through his window. That tiny moment of natural change was the only reminder that the world still existed. But peace like this is hard to come by. Loud screams, banging on doors, and feces being thrown at the guards were all commonplace in ADX's darkest days. So how do inmates at ADX survive? They create routines. Wake up, stretch, meditate, read, write, repeat. In a place where the days blend together, structure is the only defense against insanity. They follow rules, not just because punishment is severe, but because rewards, however
sane.
minor, can mean the difference between despair and endurance.
keeps the
A
life
book
going
or
in 'em,
even
man.
a blanket turns from a mundane item into a precious artifact. They avoid conflict because fighting leads to unimaginable forms of punishment. There is no upside to resistance, only more suffering. At ADX, punishment isn't just part of the system, it is the system. Inmates like Manuel Rodriguez and Mohamed Salame have both been strapped into restraint chairs for minor altercations involving the guards. The guards have an absurd amount of power over the prisoners. From restricting food and hygiene privileges to literal torture, they've abused the system, and the inmates have almost always.
And you know what? They do that shit in regular ass prisons, bro. So I would not sit right here and second guess that they do it up there. They probably do it worse in there. They probably will put you somewhere, bro, and just beat on you, bro, just because you don't listen. They real deal treat you like you're an animal, bro. They gonna put you somewhere and they gonna beat on you until you literally are unconscious almost, bro. Like, dead serious. They'll make it to where you can't take showers. You can't put on deodorant. You ain't got no choice but to stink. They'll make it to where you can't eat for days at a time. Like, it's things that them guards would do, bro, that I ain't gonna lie, bro. I never, ever, ever want to experience prison. I don't want to experience it. I don't want to go. I don't want to see what it's like. I don't want to be in the streets. Prison scared me of being in the streets. I can't lie. I ain't gonna say scared me of it, but bro, just the thought of having years stripped away from me, time stripped away from me, bro, and we already don't have that much time here. It makes me feel a certain type of way, you feel me? And it makes me act a certain type of way so that way I don't have to go and experience that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, I couldn't imagine that, bro.
Paid the price. In just 1 year, there were 61 reported use of force incidents. That's code for everything from minor shoves to full-blown cell extractions with pepper spray and riot gear. 4 inmates were responsible for over a quarter of those reports. Rodriguez had 5 of them, including 2 that ended in the restraint chair. Another inmate, Floyd Martinez, got slammed with 3 use of force incidents in a single day. Like every system, corruption reigns supreme, and inmates claim that their behavior isn't what prompts these incidents. According to one prisoner, it's the guards provoking inmates, then body slamming them for reacting, even when the aggression is just turning their head when they are spoken to. And then there's the brutal story of Mohamed Salame. After going on a 34-day hunger strike, Salama says he was force-fed over 200 times. A Department of Justice video backs him up. Footage shows him strapped to a black chair, an IV in one arm, and a nasogastric tube being forced through his nose. If you don't know what a nasogastric tube is, I'll tell you. Trigger warning, it's brutal. The inmate is restrained so tightly they can't move an inch. Then, a long tube is shoved through one of their nostrils, down the throat, and into their stomach. A bland, cream-colored liquid is slowly dripped down. The goal? Keep the body alive. The cost? Trauma, pain, sometimes irreversible damage. These incidents can leave deep scars, both physical and psychological.
Bro, that makes
That's why
me
most inmates
hurt,
eventually learn that it's better to keep your head down. Good behavior earns you mundane rewards and a life of silence.
Basically saying that them guards demand their respect, and if they don't get their respect or they feel disrespected in any way, shape, form, or fashion, bro, they gonna do whatever they want to you, bro. No rap. So it was just best just to let them talk and let them say whatever they want and just go on about your day.
Behavior earns you pain, torture, and a life of violence.
It is another thing, bro. I want to say a lot of guards, a lot of prison guards and police officers are people that felt powerless at one point in time. These were people that used to get bullied in high school or didn't have a father figure or used to get beat up on and kicked around. So then they became police officers so that way they can have some type of power. That way they can feel like they run supreme over the regular people. Some police officers like that, and especially prison guards, bro. These are people that had nothing growing up. Not all of them are like that, but a lot of them are like that, bro. So when it comes to these police officers and these police guards, bro, just do what they say. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care what they say to you, how disrespectful it, bro. If you seeing this, bro, just do what they say.
Rhymed. But seriously, what's being sold to the public as security and order looks more like psychological warfare behind bars. Think this system's working? Just wait till you hear about Jabbar Currents. Even if you manage to survive your time at ADX, you'll never be the same again. Because ADX isn't just a cage. It's a machine built to dismantle the human spirit, piece by piece. And when inmates leave, they don't go home healed. They go home broken. Some reoffend immediately, not out of malice, but because they don't know how to exist in society. Jabbar Currents, after serving 11 years at ADX, was released. 3 days later, he assaulted a woman in a park. He now faces a potential life sentence, which has yet to be confirmed.
Got borderline personality disorder, schizoaffective disorder, a cyclical mood disorder, bipolar, antisocial personality disorder.
Others, even if they avoid reoffending, find themselves overwhelmed by simple interactions.
It's illegal to drive without car insurance in almost
Why we
every
keep on
U.S.
getting
state, but there's one
ads,
thing you
bruh?
can try pretty much
It's
any time if
ads
you
on
want to save money.
ads on ads.
Crowds, conversations, and noise are all potential triggers. After years in a sensory vacuum, the outside world becomes alien.
And then you're dropped off in 42nd Street, Times Square, the biggest tourist spot in the world, with 20 million computers. It's a sensory overload.
Former prison staff and attorneys have voiced concerns for years, but treatment is still minimal. Shockingly, as many as a third of the inmates at ADX have a diagnosed mental illness, making them a serious threat to themselves and others.
What we found was a prison that was full of people who were...
I want to say this, bro. Like, whenever these people get these types of mental illnesses, bro, because even me sometimes, like, noise makes me really, really mad sometimes. Like, it makes me, like, really overstimulated, and if I just feel, like, so anxious and, like, my anxiety gets to rushing and stuff when there's a lot going on. So imagine being locked away, nothing going on, in the complete desert, complete silence. All you're hearing is coyotes and other shit going on. You feel me? And then being released into the public where there's noise, there's people, there's tourists, there's children screaming, there's this, there's that. You feel me? It's a lot going on, bro. That could drive a motherfucker insane to make them so mad that it's like, okay, I gotta do that. I gotta get back. You feel me? Because now it's like, that's your regular. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of y'all that don't understand it, like, how can you do this, bro? I'm gonna explain it to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to explain. Like, I just explain it the best way I can. You know what I'm saying? Whenever a motherfucker is used to something for so long and then they're released to this, that change, that thing that makes them, like, sane, it's no longer making them sane no more. So therefore, they're gonna go insane and they're gonna react. A reaction, every action is gonna get a reaction, but every reaction also comes with a consequence. Yeah.
Many of whom were catastrophically mentally ill and who were receiving little, if any, treatment of any kind.
So, is this justice Or is this institutionalized psychological torture? Many, including former inmates like Dennis Hope, have argued that solitary confinement violates the 8th Amendment of the US Constitution, which protects against cruel and unusual punishment.
In European countries, it's considered a violation of human rights for someone to be locked up for more than 15 days in solitary confinement. That's 15 days, and we're locking up people here for 20 or 30 years.
In June 2012, a group of 11 prisoners at ADX sued the Federal Bureau of Prisons for their lack of proper care for mentally ill inmates. Shortly after, in a Senate hearing in 2012 on solitary confinement, Charles Samuels, the director of the Bureau of Prisons, testified that there weren't any insane prisoners housed at ADX.
And notice what color this man
this
is.
Simply
I
was
don't
not
mean to bring race into
testified.
this. I don't mean to do that, but just notice what color.
Shortly after, in a Senate hearing in 2012 on solitary confinement,
notice how old
Charles
he
Samuels.
is. Look at him. Look at him. Just look at him. You know what I'm saying? I characterize people. I do. You could look at him and tell he don't care. He doesn't. This right here is the type of man, he wants power. He wants people to fall in order. He wants people to fall in line. Just look at him. You look at him and tell, bro, he don't care. He's one of them, bro. If people act out of the ordinary, bro, he feels some type of way and he wants them to act in line. You feel me? So with that being said, whatever it goes, it goes. If these prisoners don't obey, whatever happens, happens to them. That's how he feels about it. He feels that these people are in there for a reason, bro. So with that being said, if they didn't want it to happen to him, bro, they should never got up in there. That's just how he feels. He don't feel that it's wrong at all. He feels that he's doing the right thing. You can look at him and tell.
Samuels, the director of the Bureau of Prisons, testified that there weren't any insane prisoners housed at ADX.
He don't care.
But this simply was not the case. As ADX prisoner Jesse Wilson wrote in 2012 for the online publication Solitary Watch, this is what should be thought of as a lie. I have not slept in weeks
that's
due
what
to
people
these
look like to him. You feel me? All these people got tattoos, they're in gangs, and they've done violent crimes, so he don't care what happens to them.
Non-existing inmates beating on the walls and hollering all night, and the most non-insane smearing feces in their cells. The lead plaintiff in the lawsuit, Harold Cunningham, who had spent over a decade in solitary at ADX, also spoke of the abuse he faced. In a statement, he explained, "I was treated and lived like an animal for years, stripped of all my clothes for weeks at a time. Just a blanket chained to my bed, water turned off, no shower at times. No food, and when they did feed me, it was bad food. Stale bread and cheese, rotten apple, I was beaten while handcuffed. All this on and off throughout 5 to 6 years." Wow. Pretty brutal. A settlement was reached in 2016, and ADX instated better mental health screenings by licensed professionals, and over 100 mentally ill prisoners were transferred to other facilities. Since then, the Bureau of Prisons has also introduced STAGES, a treatment program for inmates with borderline personality disorder. It stands for Steps Towards Awareness, Growth, and Emotional Strength. The goal is to help participants manage their mental illness, learn new skills, and ultimately rehabilitate. Nowadays, ADX's new mandate is to keep prisoners no more than 3 years in solitary confinement, and then be transferred to a less restrictive prison for the remainder of their sentence. After a year in solitary, inmates are gradually allowed more time out of their cells if they behave. So what do you think? Is ADX Florence inhumane, or a necessary solution to keep the public safe? Let us know in the comments below. No matter what your stance is on ADX Florence, it's clear that it was built to contain the uncontainable, to house the most dangerous men in the country, and keep them silent, still, and out of reach. And by that measure, it has succeeded. El Chapo, the shoe bomber, the Boston Marathon bomber, none of them have escaped ADX. And none of them ever will. But what happens to a society that uses silence, darkness, and isolation as tools of punishment? What happens when we stop trying to reform and instead start trying to erase? Because ADX doesn't just remove people from the world, it removes the world from people. And when that process is complete, what returns, if anything, isn't a human being. At ADX Florence, you don't survive the inmates, you survive yourself. And that's what makes it one of the most sinister, most effective, and most terrifying institutions in America. If you thought ADX Florence was extreme, wait until you see what's happening in El Salvador, where tens of thousands of—
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I might be reacting to that video next, because that prison is actually insane. Like, they got motherfuckers in there just behind bars, but they got a guard right in front of the bar. And like, if they do anything, bro, them guards just going they ass. They don't do no bullshitting over there. But that's also for the most notorious, most ruthless motherfuckers in the world. Like, these are motherfuckers who done offed over like 150 people. Like, for real. That being said, though, bro, it's your boy Emery, and I'm gone. Peace.